around the world, I'd search for you. I traveled on when hope was gone to keep a rendezvous. Well, I knew somewhere, sometime, somehow you look at me and I would see that smile. You're smiling now. Well, it might have been in County Down or in New York, Gay Paris, or even London town. No more would I go all around the world. I have found my world in you.
He's a tiny guy, isn't he? He's a tiny guy.
Hey guys, I was just over on State Street, and you realize other than the random hotspot, most of State Street is just fat guys drinking coffee and smoking hookahs.
Dennis Miller live in studio here. Thank you, Dennis, for coming.
Are we having lunch today?
We are. We're going to go over to Cielito.
Sorry.
Don't you think?
Good. I want to
Have a
go
little
too.
good lunch.
Sorry, my hair's messed up. I'm getting a haircut this afternoon, so I didn't really get up and do my bidet.
my hair exploded last night.
Last night at dinner. Peter last night told me that the death certificate for Brian Jones, they asked the guy what he died from. The guy said, everything.
Yeah, it's a shame, yeah.
All right. Well, you know, we got a new segment just because of Peter being in the studio. Yeah, it's called.
This is exciting to be here at the birth of this.
Yeah, it's not here, the afterbirth. I'm not
All
sure.
right, let me
it's
just
called
watch
the
this
best
magic.
and the worst
Can't read it.
of travel. Herman's best and worst of travel. Let's run that beautiful clip of stunning Peter. Oh, the best.
Now those were the gay porn days, weren't they? I remember
All righty. Yeah, this is
I used to just get paid, though.
that. You were traveling under the name Andrew Ridgely.
And the band who was called Who Cares?
All right, the guy who travels all over the world,
All right.
the most traveled guy in show business, right?
He is, man. He makes Leno look like an agoraphobic.
All right, let's start with the best chain hotel in the U.S.
I like the Hilton Garden Inn only because it's always the same everywhere you go. You always get the same room, the same thing every room. I don't like surprises.
Best chain in a hotel, I got to say the one Carradine died in.
Chateau Marmont?
Wasn't he chained in a closet or something?
Oh, he was
David
chained,
Car-
yeah.
Okay. That would be I think they had the best chain. It
Some
worked.
people do it with a rope over the back of the door as well, but no.
How about the worst?
I don't like the embassy suites because everyone sees you going to and from your room. There's like an atrium in the middle, and there's like
There's
all
a
these
what?
atrium, you know, like an open area, and all the rooms are built around it. So you know, when you go to your room, whatever time, there's always people like looking at what room you got.
I
Don't
think
like that.
every time I run into people on the road, there are pains in the atrium.
If they're at imbecile suites. Okay. Now, you're eating a lot on the road.
I'm not. I'm eating less and less.
He's down 22 pounds. He
Yeah.
looks
True.
great.
That's
You didn't
true.
look this thin when you were in the Hermits.
I was 110 pounds, and then I was 110 kilos. There's a difference.
Well, when you do eat, what's the best fast food chain
I like
for you?
Panera Bread because they give the food away that you don't eat. Whatever's left at the end of the evening, they give it to the local Salvation Army or homeless people. So I always go.
Is that when you get it?
I would say I would have had that scone, but I want somebody homeless to have that scone, and I don't eat it.
I like Panera Bread, too, because whatever Pete doesn't get, they bring it out to me in the alley.
What about the worst?
The worst, Subway, because once I went in Subway and I said, what is the meat? He says it's meat, and the guy said, we don't know what kind. I said, you mean you're selling a product and you don't know what it is? And he said, well, it's just a composite of everything.
Oh, like a sausage.
You don't want,
No.
yeah, like
Like a
you know,
banger.
and I'm English, so I know if you can put it in a sausage, it's good for you.
Yeah.
So
I went up to a guy in the subway in New York once and says, what's in that meat and could I put it in a sausage? Didn't end well. Of course, that was the actual subway.
Right. The exact. You don't have to
it's a whole
explain
different frame of reference.
You don't have to explain the references to Nipper and I.
Worst food?
I think that's what the
So we did Subway. Okay. How about the best?
Nipper's got 4 questions, as we're 2 in, he's repeating it. What do you want, Ambien?
Just old age, I'm afraid. Old age.
Yeah,
Now
All
watch, he'll come back and go, okay, worst food. There's only 4 questions. Come on, get in the game. It's your show.
All right, Peter, what do you think about Subway? No.
My best domestic airline, I think, is what you were going to say would be because United Airlines, because they just fly everywhere and they go everywhere.
Yeah?
We used to say that Delta stood for don't even leave the airport when we were doing comedy. Delta's tough.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't go Delta because they don't even fly to Santa Barbara. And if you live here, you can't go on Delta because they don't have a plane that comes here. So you go on United. They got all kinds of planes coming here. You can go on like an old cuckoo clock with wings to LA or San Francisco. Or you can get in a little CRJ, 50-seat CRJ, where they lose money on every flight, but they're always, every seat is taken, but they're losing money. And you go to Denver or somewhere like that with them.
They do have those little puddle jumpers, though.
Yeah, they sure. We're puddle jumper corner
God,
here.
I took a United flight once. It was Eddie Rickenbacker's corpse on a one of those kites that you fly. What are the hang gliders?
Right.
They say, here, mount Eddie Rickenbacker's corpse on a hang glider. We'll get you to Chicago.
How about the worst?
What was it? Worst domestic airline? That's United. They
It's got both, huh?
They don't clean the planes. I think the minimum requirement when you go on a plane it has to be clean everywhere. You know, you sit down, you go, you open the tray table, and there's like somebody else's like gerber on it.
Go in the bathroom, the toilet shaped like Fatty Arbuckle. It's grim. The Manson family paints the inside.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this is going to be a very popular segment.
Yeah, I think
I'm sorry. Should I not be piggybacking on this?
No, this
you
is very
should
good.
be.
I'm really glad because
I'm riffing, as they say.
Best airport, favorite airport.
I think Santa Barbara because it's kind of open and easy and people are friendly. They say good morning to you. So you guys say, hey, how you doing? You know, most of them are pretty horrible to passengers, but they're nice to passengers.
I like the old one.
I did like the old one.
Well, the old one
the
is
one
now
just
pulled
looks
over.
like, I think, wow, what do we spend on this? California's going to hell in a handbag. I used to dig the old one. Now I go to the new one, I just think, can we afford this? For God's sakes, we can't.
Well, the other one didn't have bathrooms.
Nah, who cares?
You're right, nobody cared, but somebody said, oh, they've got to have bathrooms.
Well, listen, the way I look at it, you just
Grin and bear it.
go
right?
on the plane.
It's really a giant Taco Bell.
Weren't there bathrooms at the old one?
There were.
Because I took a
If you
few
went
whizzes there, and I mistook if that was just a luncheonette.
That was
and
the
I
Coke
mistook
machine you
it.
debated.
No wonder that everybody was angry at me.
Worst airport?
Dallas, Washington D.C. because they've still got those Star Wars. Have you been to Washington and been on that? They put you on like a Star Wars bus across the runway and everything. Everything's hundreds of miles and everybody's angry and everybody's unhappy and.
I got to say, Aleppo, Syria. I'm down on that lately. Just seems a little crazy. Things go over to Bashar al-Assad's for my my roast beef sandwich. It seems a little rancorous there. Aleppo, Syria, worst airport.
I didn't even know there was one.
I didn't know that, did I?
What about the friendliest place in the U.S.? Friendliest city?
Akron, Ohio, I say.
Bill Clinton's lap.
I didn't realize it was as big as a city.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been there, but I
friendly
wouldn't know.
place.
Sounds good. I think, Bill Clinton's lap, yeah. After Akron.
After Akron. And the
Go to
least
Akron first.
friendly?
Washington, D.C.
Boy, you don't like Washington, do you?
I
Get the
think
bums out.
Everyone's
Huh?
busy and on their
All
way
the
to
world's a stage. I find it so peaceful and mellow, and everybody loves each other out there now. And I'm on an Ambien now.
And LAX, I don't like LAX as well. The people are angry and hurried and.
Yeah. But how about renting cars? Do
You
do
get
have
a lot of these. don't you?
Yeah. Well, we're trying to fill up a half hour here.
Hertz or Avis, they're both equally the same. Hertz and Avis.
Does
are the
anyone
best
try
rental
harder?
car.
Are they all
They're both,
do they
trying,
about the same?
they're both trying harder now. I think what they've done is they've bought all the competition bit by bit, so there's only 2 of them, so they've now only got each other to beat.
I don't even
remember
rent
this.
anymore. I just show up and tell them I'm Romney's dog. They put me on the lid of somebody else's car. And take me.
Worst rent-a-car?
Alamo, because you have to wait in lines with people who don't know what they're doing, basically. They've just arrived and they go, I don't know, they think it's like a tour.
So you're saying that slogan should be "Forget the Alamo."
Good one.
Once you're on the road, what's your favorite road to drive?
I like Ohio Turnpike because you don't get the tickets on your California driver's license.
You mean
If you get stopped for speeding, it's a local ticket. It doesn't go on your speeding thing.
Didn't you? You were a big fan of the Hershey Highway there for a while.
No,
weren't you?
never.
No?
God,
Never. That wasn't me.
And the worst road.
The Hershey Highway.
That's right. I knew it was in there. I just had it misplaced.
Or that road out to Montauk.
All right. Now,
The breeze could go on for
I gotta
4
keep going.
days.
I gotta keep going.
What, your favorite temperature in a room? 72, 72 and a half. Jesus Christ.
All right. We're getting through it. We're getting through it.
Oh, this is like the Bataan Death March. Well, favorite of the questions I've asked you so far. Least favorite of the questions I've asked you so far. Most favorite of the least favorite question. Least favorite of the most favorite. What the hell are you doing? Talk to us. We're your
I'm
best
sorry.
friends. It's like I'm with the robot maid on the Jetsons.
Now I'm going to do the rub in the eyes thing.
All right, what do you got?
Well, I don't know where to go from that.
This is so...
Pet peeve. How about a pet peeve in a hotel? Do you have any?
This segment.
This is not an hotel.
The microwave in the
Yeah?
room.
Yeah.
Because people cook cabbage and stuff
Having
in
to
the
pay
next
for those
room.
adult movies.
Yeah.
That's a,
Yeah, my
Cabbage
pet peeve,
cooking.
Yeah.
seriously,
Seriously.
also when I'm raped in a New York hotel by the head of the World Bank.
Oh, okay. Well, I think
never
we're
been a
going to
good
take a break because we got to take a break. We're going to come back.
are you
We're not
doing?
going to take a break. We are.
Nipper misinterpreting this?
I thought we were talking about.
Do you want me to extend it? Yes. Extend.
Let's go to Greece
Oh,
for a second.
damn,
Did you
all
go to
right.
Greece?
What?
Let's talk about Greece
Yeah, I've
since you were
seen
there.
Greece.
Let's
Same
throw,
about Jeff Conway's passion.
let's throw a
Oh,
little
the
Greece.
country.
Yeah, because we have Dennis Miller's Greece. I think we even have a video to go with it. A
What do you
little bit
mean,
of
Dennis
yeah, look, Dennis Miller on the road. Do you like that? Dennis Miller on
it's
the
a
road.
nice logo. Do you
Went
have
from
pictures
Santa
or what do you
Barbara
do?
Look at
to
that.
Greece. There we go. Isn't that fancy?
Did you see that?
I had to
God,
use it.
you've got too much money.
So in less than 2 minutes, what do you think? How was Greece?
Well, listen, I am in Athens for like an eighth of a second. I'm immediately whisked to a high security compound. But, Athens is crazy right now. I go down and visit my friends in Port Heli. It's a couple hours down, so I don't spend much time in Greece. But I will say this, when the economic feek storm hits the fan here, it's going to be a lot worse than Athens. Because over in Athens, it's a soccer country. They don't know how to throw a Molotov cocktail. They throw like girls. Over here, kids raised in a baseball system, they know how to hit the cutoff man.
DennisMillerRadio.com is a website to check out for all of your upcoming concerts. You got some great stuff going on.
I'll tell you what happened to me. The bastards, the man came down and tear gassed me. The man always tear gasses you.
All right,
The man.
we're going to close this one down. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been fun. It's been wild. We'll see you next week on Around the World. Happy trails.
Hello, I'm Bruce Salen, inviting you to stay tuned for The Bruce Salen Show.